Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore the English language one word at a time. I'm your host, Alex, and today's word is edge. Edge, as a noun, refers to the outer limit or border of something. It's the place where one thing stops and another begins. Think of the edge of a table, the edge of a cliff, or even the edge of your seat. In everyday language, we use edge to describe these physical boundaries, but also in more abstract ways, which we'll get to later. Let's delve into some synonyms for edge. A common synonym is border. For example, the border between the garden and the lawn was neatly trimmed. Another synonym is brim. You might hear, the glass was filled to the brim with lemonade. We can also use the word rim. The rim of the hat shielded her eyes from the sun. Another possible synonym, depending on the context, is verge. She was on the verge of tears when she heard the news. Finally, consider margin. He wrote notes in the margin of the book. Now, let's look at some antonyms, words with opposite meanings to edge. One antonym is center. For instance, the statue stood in the center of the town square. Another is middle. The treasure was buried in the middle of the island. We can also use interior. The interior of the house was surprisingly spacious. Another antonym is core. The core of the apple contained the seeds. And lastly, consider heart. The heart of the city is always bustling with activity. How can we use edge in everyday life? Well, think about describing a physical object. Be careful you don't fall off the edge of the swimming pool. Or perhaps you're talking about an opportunity. He felt he had an edge over the other candidates because of his experience. We also use edge in common expressions. He was on the edge of his seat means he was very excited or nervous about something. Someone who has an edge has an advantage. You might say, she has an edge in the competition because she's been training for years. Or, the knife has a sharp edge, meaning the knife is sharpened. The phrase living on the edge describes a person who takes risks. You might say, he enjoys living on the edge, skydiving, and racing motorcycles. Here are a few more examples of edge in sentences and phrases. The edge of the forest was dark and mysterious. The artist carefully painted the edge of the canvas. The climber reached the edge of the cliff and looked down. The company gained a competitive edge by developing innovative technology. The speaker was careful to avoid the edge of controversy. He walked along the edge of the lake, enjoying the sunset. She felt a slight edge of anxiety as she waited for the results. The old book had a worn edge. The politician tried to walk the edge between appeasing his base and appealing to moderate voters. The building stood on the edge of the town. She sharpened the edge of the pencil. He pushed the envelope to the edge of what was acceptable. The singer had a raw, emotional edge to her voice. To recap, edge means the outer limit or border. We explored synonyms like border, brim, rim, verge, and margin, and antonyms like center, middle, interior, core, and heart. We also looked at how edge is used in everyday language and common expressions. Thanks for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this exploration of the word edge helpful. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others find the show, and we really appreciate it. Now, I have a challenge for you. Can you create your own sentence using the word edge? Share your sentence as a comment under this video. I can't wait to see what you come up with. I'll be back next time with another word for you to explore. Until then, happy learning!